Hi friends, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I have another tutorial for us today using these flat paper bags. So these are the kind like I think you get like at a bakery, sometimes with a cookie in it or something like that, but they're not waxy, they feel good, and they're easy to craft with, and I have a whole bunch of them. So let me show you what I've made today and tell you about the papers I'm using too. So these are going to be wraparounds for a page in a journal, and they're so easy to make when you're using the paper bag because you already have a pocket that is built in, right? So this one I just folded in half, and then I decorated the front and the back. Let me just find a good page for us. Okay, this will be a good one. And then on the inside, I added a little scrappy pad. Fun, right? So then this one, the way it will be installed in a journal, a junk journal, will be like this. We're going to add glue to this side and glue it to the page. And because I put that scrappy pad on there, I will probably not glue it down like just on a couple of sides so we can have another pocket. I want it to be nice and secure, and I have this nice big pocket in here anyway. And then on this side, when you get to this page, it opens up and you have the scrappy pad. I will also add at least one Velcro dot right there just to help secure it. There, you know, it's not a huge scrappy pad. It's not a ton of weight, but, you know, I don't want the person to get to that place in the journal and have an issue. Okay. Now, the other design that I did is very similar, but I decided not to fold it quite in half. I did maybe a third. I can give you a measurement when we go to make some. But this one is going to wrap on the page like this. So when we get to this page, if you want to, you could leave it where it flips down and you could have something here. I plan on this one to install it with glue on this side and just make a tuck spot for a tag that will go right there. That is how I plan to install this one. And then when you turn the page, again, this one will be glued down. And because it's not going to be flipping and flapping, I have choices. I could add glue to this entire section. And then we have our nice big roomy pocket here. I've already put some fun journaling cards and a tag in here. Again, I can make it a side load, or it could be like a double pocket, a pocket here and a pocket behind. Lots of choices, but it just wraps from the bottom. And again, depending on where you fold the bags, you can get different configurations for your pockets and your pages. Okay. So the other thing that I was going to tell you about while I get started is I'm working on a new paper kit. And so it's not completely ready yet. So it probably, when this first goes live, it probably won't be on Etsy. You can check. But I will update the listing and put it in the description when it's ready. Maybe a couple more hours I need to work on it. There's a couple of things that I want to do. But there is a page of fun tags. And it's florals, and I was thinking about calling these winter florals because I think these are going to be fun to craft with, of course, here in December, but as we head into the January, February, March months. But at the same time, really, I think it would be pretty any time of the year. So I need to name the kit. That's one thing I need to do. And there's a few pages. I just want to clean up a little bit. I love those polka dots in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I need to clean up a few of the pages, and then I've added, after the background pages, I wanted you guys to have like some dictionary, some sheet music. Here's some strips. I haven't even printed. I've got a couple other configurations just for tear collage kind of papers. And I also am thinking I may provide them the full pages like I've done, but I don't know if you guys can tell. It's a pretty big note. It's pretty large font. So I may go ahead and also maybe make them half pages, quarter pages, something like that. I want to give you guys some other sizes. I know a lot of people have difficulty with their printers. Don't we all, right? And getting them to print at the smaller sizes if you want to. So anyway, I'm going to play with it a little more. We're going to have a new paper kit. If you have suggestions or ideas for a name for the kit besides like winter floral, or if you can think of something you think would be pretty, drop that in a comment for me. I can't promise I won't be able to use everybody's ideas, but maybe something will come up and help me come up with a name for this paper kit. So again, these are some paper bags. You can get them lots of places. I have them in my Amazon storefront, so if you want to go check that out, you can if you want some paper bags. So let's do one. And again, you can do it in either orientation, but where we don't fold it exactly in half. This one I folded over from the bottom of the bag 2 3/4 inches. Guys, I really just eyeballed it, and I'm going to do the same again. So I'm just going to pick so that I have kind of a narrow side, and then I have a nice big side to work with. And this one, just for fun, I think I will not orient to go on the bottom of a page, but we'll orient it to go on the side of a page, just for fun, because we can. Oh, and I wanted to show you, see the tags that I've made with the kit already? I think it's pretty. That page, it looked kind of weird with the dictionary, and then there's these flowers kind of stuck around, but again, the intent is you're going to tear them and have some pretty images to work with. I'm also in the kit going to have it without the images on there if you just want the font. Okay. All right, so you folded it in half, so obviously you know you have this pocket here, and then you can create any others that you want. And I am going to, there's a couple of pages that are kind of these stripes that give you a little more neutral palette to work with. So I think I'm going to leave this one where it flips open, and this is going to be a journaling spot inside instead of a scrappy pad like I did on this one. I'm going to have a nice big journaling spot so that whichever way we decide to do it, but when you open it up, you have writing space. Okay, so let's go ahead and ink the edges, and then we'll make the front. And, well, it's kind of like two fronts because it wraps around the page edge, right? We will make them pretty. We can also do one, and maybe we will real quick, that folds over the top of a page. It doesn't have to just be the side or the bottom. And it really is just wherever your imagination takes you. And you can make these without bags if you just want to make them out of cardstock or scrapbook paper. You really can, and then just add pockets to them. I like sometimes having projects that are pretty quick and easy because you already have a base established. So it's kind of fun, you know. But if you don't have bags, and that's not something that, you know, is in your budget, then use what you have. You can also keep things, now I wouldn't if it had a lot of food residue on it, but you know, sometimes things that we would normally throw away, we can turn into fun items to craft with. I'm just going to put a little sliver of this green. I was trying to decide where, just to give our journaling spot a little bit of color. Just a little bit of color. All right, and I did pull out a few doodads here and there from some other kits that I've been working with recently, and have printed out and not used yet. Let's just take something from this page. I love this little chair, and I also like the what is that? It's a planter, perhaps. Let's see. And this is what I also do when I'm making a new paper kit. I will print it and try to make a few projects with it before I put it up, because sometimes what looks good to me on my computer screen, when I'm starting to work with it, I'm like, you know, that's a little awkward. Or I wish it did this instead. We're going to use this planter. And I would rather, I'm going to back this one with this page. Now this one I just printed on a piece of regular copy paper. It's not even the cardstock. And I'm going to tear it so that I'm not covering up this opening piece of my bag. So you can also, if you have a printer and do print digital kits, try different papers. I have my everyday, what I use all the time, cardstock, which is that Nina 90-pound cardstock. But sometimes I'll print on regular weight copy paper, or try other papers that are, that I have and that are nice, just to see how the images print. And I think this one printed really pretty on here, and I don't, at this point, really need the extra stability of the cardstock. Okay, I love these polka dots. All right, I do not want to glue my paper bag closed, so to be careful there. And then it's like ferns in a bathtub with music sheet. It's fun. Okay. And some of these have almost like a green, I don't know if green's the right word, tint to them, which was intentional because I wanted it to make a something fun with the papers. I think I'm going to make this another pocket. We're going to hold it like this. So we'll have a side load and a top load pocket on this flip. It'll open up for writing space. A flip there. Now I added some handwritten words on the ones we did, and I also, on her, I just sewed this little key on there, which I thought was just darling. Let's see what pieces I have sitting around that might look good with our planter here. And I just find, quotes and words that I like a lot of times from books that I've read, or I'll go on Pinterest and I have a whole board there of quotes and words that I save that I might want to go back and use someday. So if you, don't like to handwrite, I love to handwrite and use my handwriting in my art. But if you don't like to do that, then, there's so many fonts out there now. You can also just type them in and print them out if you have a printer. And a lot of digital kits have some lovely words and quotes and things as well to help you out with that. So I picked a Mary Oliver quote for this one. It says, "Keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable." I think sometimes when we're going through a lot of stuff, it's hard to imagine good outcomes or that things are going to be okay. Or even just dreaming big, right? And that maybe we can do something a little different, like I did this year, to kind of change some things and do something different with your life. It is possible. Woo. All right. Now, again, these are going to be, where you turn the page, but I kind of like having the same paper just for fun. And then let me show you again. So my intent here was to have some fun papers that you can just rip and tear and collage with in this kit, because I knew as soon as I started playing with it that I was going to want to use, this is just real book page, you know, I was going to want to use book page and some neutrals and some things. So I thought, why not? All right, we're going to do finger tear here. Finger tear. And then I want it to be the same height. So I'm just using my folio or my little pocket here to help me so I don't have to do real measuring. I would say I tore this, the wider spots, a little more than an inch. But, you know, just kind of eyeball it and see what looks good to you. All right, so this is going to be on a page in the journal. And I think, I was thinking I could make this a tiny tuck spot, but I'm just going to glue it down. But I could have. It's always fun to remember. You can, if you decide to make something similar for your journals, it's fun to see options, but to know, hey, I could change it, make it whatever I want. Let me show you really quick how I sewed that little key on. Let me pick one of the girls. These are from a kit by Silva, Las Mimes Amores printables, and she has a beautiful shop on Etsy. And I'm trying to remember if this is little girls or which kit these are from, but I'll link it for you guys in the description in case you're interested. Okay, so I have all kinds of charms, and then all I did to make it, whoops, that's not the needle I want to use. I want to use a smaller needle. And I don't have it threaded, of course. So again, I just already had these little girls printed out and cut, and I was like, well, I'll just throw them on my table, see if I end up using them, and I did, yay. They're so cute. All right. It kind of gives it a little bit of that shabby chic kind of look. All right, so all I did was I decided, I think on this one, I'm gonna dangle it from this side. I just decided where to start. So I just poked a hole, and then we need to pick our charm. And gosh, there's so many to choose from. There's another key if I want to stay kind of with that idea. Is this a flower or a butterfly? What is that? Let's do that flower just to be different. So this one looks different. Okay, so then I put the charm through. So it's going to dangle. And then I held it. And instead of sewing like a stitch, I went all the way around the circle and back through the same hole. Okay. And I did that a couple of times. So that thread, you know, I like how that looks around the edge of the circle too. I hope you guys can see this. And then I'm just going to come to the back and pull it. And then when I get close, I'm going to go through to make a knot and kind of make sure that knot sits right on the edge of the circle. And I like it. Now I did back these. It's printed on that 90-pound cardstock, and then I just backed it on another piece of the same cardstock. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to cut that off and hope my knot doesn't let go. I think it's okay. I just got the thread pulled funny. All right. Cuteness. She is just darling, and now she has a little flower. And I have, let's see if I just have something so I don't have to take the time to write something down. Sometimes I just have some, or I have, here, we'll use one that's stamped out. So this one just says, today is full of possible. And I'm going to finger tear it. like that. Yeah, I'm going to add a touch of ink. Again, I spend more time embellishing and decorating and doing all that fun part than actually the construction. And that's why I like simple projects, because this is the part that I find so fun. And I know some people will watch just for the idea because they love to decorate too, and that's awesome. You know, go have at it. Some folks say, oh, I love the ideas of how you decorate and embellish, you know, to get my thinking cap on. Okay, so here I'm gonna just pull this tag out. So see, that's gonna have a spot there and a spot here. So let me show you real quick. When you get your journal, this one again is going to wrap around a page. Just use the same page we had open earlier. So you'll get to the page in the journal, and I'm going to glue this one, I think, here and here and along this edge. I think that'll be secure enough. And so we'll have a little pocket. And then on this side, it's going to just flip open. So you definitely want to make sure, you know, you glue it down on that side so that it's secure enough. If you're uncomfortable or not sure, just glue this whole panel down and you won't have to worry about it. I think it turned out cute. I really like it. Okay. And I'm not sure what journal I'm going to use these in, so I don't want to just put it in my idea journal right now, because I may make a journal out of all of these papers and want to use these. So that was one idea. And basically, guys, I mean, that's it. You know, this one I folded in half. I made the scrappy pad, stapled it together, used some two-sided tape to stick it down. I had lined it with that paper to begin with. So cute. So embellish them as much or as little as you want. If you have bags, use them. If not, just fold up some cardstock and make your around the paper page, the edge, whatever you want to call those, around the edge. If you guys have ideas for names for my paper kit, drop me a comment. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I hope y'all are doing well and having a great week. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, I hope you have a great one. Thanks.